Hello everyone, welcome back to Genius Knowledge Point, your one place for practical programming solutions for computer and IT students. I am making this video to provide practical knowledge to all students so that you can develop your own programs which will be helpful for your studies as well as career. In this video we will perform practical number 30 of Python programming, and the topic in this video is to implement Python program to select records from the database table and display the result. And the database that we are going to use here is MySQL database. So this practical is basically designed for case scheme of Diploma Computer and IT students and semester number 4. But anyone who wants to understand how to connect a Python program with MySQL database service and run different queries on the database, just follow this video till end, you will understand it very clearly. So in previous video, we have used a PostgreSQL database, we have connected our Python program with that database, and we have run the query which was select query in that case, and we have fetched the record from the table which was student table and displayed the record in front of the user. So similarly, we are going to use the same concept here. We are going to connect our Python program with the MySQL database service. So in that case, we will be using MySQL application, and using that application we will be running MySQL server or MySQL database server. Then after that we will be connecting our program with the MySQL database and we will be running multiple queries. So before starting the coding, we just have to install the package that we need to connect a Python program with MySQL. So I'm just opening CMD here. Then in that CMD you have to write the command, that is pip space install, then MySQL dash connector dash Python. So it will be installing the MySQL connector for Python, which is an external package which is not currently present inside our Python system. So it will be installed and you can use the MySQL connector inside your Python program. So I'm just hitting enter now. So the package is downloaded from the internet and it is installed inside our Python system. So we can now use this MySQL connector inside our program. So let us move to the practical related questions. So the first question is, write a Python program to create database in MySQL. So we have to use MySQL service here and we have to create our own database inside our MySQL server. So let us move to the coding part directly. So initially what I'm doing, I'm importing the MySQL.connector. So we are importing the MySQL connector from external package, so that's why I'm using import statement here. Next I'm creating connection variable here. So connection con is equal to MySQL.connector.connect. So in previous video we have used a PostgreSQL, so in this case we are going to use MySQL connector, and we are again going to use the same function which is connect function, and in that function bracket we have to pass multiple parameters. So what are the parameters? First is the host name. So I am using the same computer, so that's why I am using localhost as a host name. Then for MySQL service, the default username is root and password is blank. So I am using the same user ID and password here. So user is equal to root and the password is kept as blank. I am not using any database name here because we are going to create our own database. So that's why database is not mentioned here. So after that the function is complete. Then I am using a cursor variable here. So my cursor is equal to con.cursor. So the cursor variable will be created, and using this cursor we will be running multiple queries. So I'm creating my query statement as SQL_query is equal to create database my database. So this query will be run on the database, and after that successful execution, this my database will be created. So after that I'm using my cursor.execute, and in the parameter bracket I am passing the query that I have created. So SQL_query variable is passed here, which is having the query statement. So this query will be executed on the database, and after that one database will be created with this name. So after that I am just printing simple statement, database my database created successfully. So this message is displayed on the screen. That means our database is successfully created. After that I am executing one more query, that is my cursor.execute, and in the parameter bracket I am passing query in the string format. So show databases. So this query will be executed and multiple database names will be taken, and those names will be stored into this my cursor variable. So after that I am printing a simple message, list of databases, and after that putting a for loop here. So for DB in my cursor, so all the database name from my cursor will be taken into DB one by one while iterating, and those names will be printed. So I'm just printing this DB variable, so all the database names will be printed one by one using this for loop. Finally, we have to close the cursor as well as connection, so I am using my cursor dot close function and connection dot close function. So both the variables will be closed here. So the coding is complete. So to run the program, first we have to run our MySQL. So for that purpose, we have to run our XAMPP application. So how to install the XAMPP? You just have to go to the internet and just type download XAMPP, and you just have to double click on the setup file. It will ask you to install on particular folder. So in my case, I have installed a XAMPP in E drive and XAMPP folder is there. So just open that folder, and on below you will see XAMPP control panel.exe. You just have to right click on that and run as administrator. So if you see the cross mark here, you just have to click on that cross mark. It will install the Apache service and MySQL service also. Just install the both services because we need both the Apache service and MySQL service to run the MySQL application. So I'm just starting the servers. So just click on the start button on this interface. After that, you can see the Apache service is started. Then again click on MySQL start. So it will see the MySQL service is also started. So both the services are started. So to check the MySQL admin page, you just have to click on this admin button. So I am clicking on the admin. It will open the default browser on your system, and you will see the page of phpMyAdmin. So this interface is open. That means our MySQL service is properly running, and you can see the list of databases on the left hand side. So information schema is there, MyDB is there. So these are the databases that are currently present inside your MySQL. So there is no database with our name, so we will create it using our query. So the MySQL service has started. So now to run the program, you just have to go to the location of the program, then opening CMD here. Then after that, you just have to run the command, that is py space your file name. In my case, createdb is my file name and .py is the extension. So I am hitting enter now. You can see the database, my database created successfully. So the list of databases are printed, and in that list you can see my database is present here. That means we have created our database successfully and it is present in this list. So to check whether it is present on the MySQL, you just have to go to your browser and you just have to refresh the page. You can see the my database is created currently, which was not present earlier. So this is how we have created our new database here. So this is how what we have done in this program. We have connected to the MySQL connector, then using connection object we have fired a query to create a database, and using the cursor object we have used a for loop to print a list of databases, and in that database you can see our database is present. So this is how you can create your own database using your Python program, and you can see the result inside your MySQL server. So this is how the first question is completed here. Now moving toward the second question, write a Python program to create table in MySQL database. So in first question, we have already created our database with the name my database. So we are going to use the same database in this question, and in that database we are going to create one table. So this is how the flow of the program will be, and we are going to use the create table query in that program. So let us move to the coding part directly. So initially I am importing the MySQL.connector. So this is our external package required for running our program. So next I am using connection variable. So con is equal to MySQL.connector.connect, and in the parameter bracket we have to pass multiple arguments. So the host name is localhost, that we have already seen in first question. Then user is equal to root, and password is blank, which is the default username and password for MySQL. Then after that I am including the database also here, because we are going to use, or we are going to create table inside this database. So that's why database is equal to my database. So we have already created this database in our first question. So the function is complete here. Next I am creating cursor object. So my cursor is equal to con.cursor. So this variable is created here. Next I am using my query statement as SQL_query is equal to create table customer. Then in that I am using multiple column names. So the first column is ID and it is of data type integer and having length 10, then name in varchar having length 50 and address also varchar having length 50. So these are the columns that we are going to create inside our customer table. So after that I am just using cursor variable dot execute and in that parameter bracket passing SQL query. So the query will be executed and after this successful execution, customer table will be created inside our database, which is my database. So after that I am just printing a simple message, table created successfully. Then I am using one more query, so my cursor dot execute show tables. So this show tables query will be executed and all the list of tables will be stored into this my cursor variable. Then I am just using for loop again that we have already seen in previous question. So I am just printing the list of tables and using for loop I am just printing all the tables. So this is how the data will be printed here, and finally I am closing the cursor as well as connection variable. So the coding is complete here. So to run the program you just have to open the location where my program is, then opening CMD here, and the command is py space file name, that is table.py. So after pressing enter you can see it is displaying the table created successfully, list of tables, and in that list it is showing just a customer table. Why it is showing only one table? Because we have created our database in the first question and after that we haven't added any tables inside the database. So we have added the tables using this query or using this program. So that's why only one table is visible inside the my database, and the requirement is your MySQL server should be running in the background, then only you can run the program successfully. So you can see on this interface my database is present, and if you click on this plus you can see the customer table is created, and after clicking on the structure you can see the structure is present here. So the ID is having integer data type, the name is having varchar, then address is having varchar data type. So this is how our table is created, which is not having any rows currently, but that we will add afterwards. So this is how we have completed the second question. Now the third question is write a program to insert record into table in MySQL database. So in previous question we have created one table with the name customer inside our database. So in that table what we are going to do now, we are going to insert one record. So for that purpose SQL has an insert query. So using that query you can insert data into your table. So directly moving toward the coding part. So initially I am importing the MySQL.connector. So this is our external package, and from that we are going to use connector. Then I am creating my connection variable as MySQL.connector.connect. So we have already seen this step in the previous question. So I am passing the same parameters here. So host is equal to localhost, user is root, password is blank, and database name is my database. And after that I am creating my cursor is equal to con.cursor. Then I am creating my SQL query as SQL_query is equal to insert into customer values, and in the parameter bracket I am passing 1212, which is our ID, then ABCD as the name and Mumbai as the address. So these are the values that I am passing inside my customer table. So the query is complete. Then after that I am using my cursor.execute and in the parameter bracket passing SQL_query. So this query will be executed using this my cursor, and finally the values will be inserted into the table. Next we have to commit the insert operation. So for that purpose I am using connection object dot commit. So then only the data will be inserted inside our table, otherwise the data will not be inserted completely. So for that purpose the commit function is necessary, which is executed on connection variable. So finally I am just printing record inserted successfully and finally closing the my cursor and connection variables. So the program is complete. I'm just saving the code. Then before running you just have to open your XAMPP and you can see the services are running already, so I don't have to start the services again. If your services are not running, then you have to start the services, otherwise you will get an exception while running the program. So I'm just minimizing it, then going to the location of the file, then opening CMD here, then my command is py space file name, which is insert.py. After pressing enter you can see the message is printed record inserted successfully, but we haven't printed any data here, so that's why you cannot see the output here. So to check whether the record is inserted inside your table, you just have to go to your PHP MyAdmin page and in that page you can see the customer table is present inside my database. So I'm just clicking on this customer. You can see the ID is 1212, name is ABCD and address is Mumbai. So all the data or all the row data that we have inserted inside our program, that is added inside this table correctly. So this is how we have executed our insert query inside our Python program, and we have inserted one record inside our customer table using that query. So this is how the question is completed here. Now the fourth question is write a program to delete record from table in MySQL database. So we have our table customer present inside our database, and in that customer table we have added one row in the third question. So I have already added two more rows inside this table. So 2323 PQRS and Pune is the second row, then 5656 XYZ and Delhi is the third row. So from these rows we are going to delete one row using our program. So let us move to the coding part directly. So initially again I am importing the MySQL.connector, then creating my connection variable. This we have already seen in previous questions. Then creating my cursor variable as con.cursor, then creating my SQL query as delete from customer where ID is equal to 5656. So we have 5656 ID present inside our table row. So that row will be deleted after execution of this query. So again I am executing the query using the cursor, then committing the operation here. Then I am just printing record deleted successfully. So this message will be printed after your complete execution is done. Then finally closing the cursor as well as connection variables. So saving the program. So before running you can see the XAMPP server or the XAMPP Apache service and MySQL service is already running. So I'm just minimizing it, and you can see on the table data you can see 3 rows are present inside my table. So after running your third row should be deleted. So to run the program I am just opening CMD here. Then after that the command is py space filename.py. So after hitting enter you can see record deleted successfully message is printed. That means our program is completed successfully. To check the output you just have to open your phpMyAdmin, which is the output of MySQL. Then you just have to click on the customer, or you can refresh the page. So I am clicking on this customer. You can see only 2 rows are visible here, 1212 and 2323 ID are present. The third row is deleted because we have run the query to delete row from the table using the ID value. So this is how this question is also completed. Now moving toward the last question, write a program to update record in table in MySQL database. So we have some records present inside our table, and we are going to update the record using update query in that table. So first let us see what are the values present inside our table. So there are 2 rows present inside my customer table. So we are going to update the second record. We are going to update the address which is set as Pune. So let us move to the code. So initially I am importing the MySQL.connector, then I am creating my connection variable. So these steps are similar to the previous questions. So I am just skipping those steps, then creating cursor object, then creating my query as update customer. So update table name set address is equal to Delhi where address is equal to Pune. So I am changing the address value from Pune to Delhi in the table row. So this is how my query will be. Then I am just executing the query and committing the operation using connection variable. Finally I am just printing record updated successfully. This message will be printed, and finally I am closing the cursor and connection variable. So saving the code. Then let us see the status of your XAMPP server. So server is already running and MySQL service is also running. So just minimizing it. So to run the program I just have to open the file location, then open CMD here. Then my command is py space filename.py. After pressing enter you can see the record updated successfully message is printed. That means our program is completed successfully. And to check the output you just have to open your phpMyAdmin. Then I am clicking on this customer again. You can see the rows are updated here. You can see the second row Delhi is displayed here, which was Pune previously. So this is how we have updated our second row inside our table. So the update query is successfully run and we have updated any record inside our table properly. So the question is completed, and also the practical number 30 is complete, which was just using MySQL database and connecting MySQL database with the Python program and running multiple queries inside your SQL structure. So this is the end of Python programming series for diploma students. In that series, we have completed all the list of practicals given in the manual. We have completed all the questions in every practical. I just want you to understand each and every video. Then after watching the video, you just go to your computer laptop and type the code that is given in the question without seeing the code. Then only you will understand how the program works. And if the program is generating any errors, you just have to go to your program again, correct the errors, then again run the program. Then only your programming will be improved and you will become a good programmer. So this is how I am wrapping up the practical now, and the series for Python programming is ended here. So that's it for today's practical. I hope you understand the program clearly. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such programming solutions, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. Thanks for watching and happy coding.